Okay guys, so we're hanging out in the garage. We got the heater going. It's like 50 degrees. This took me about 45 minutes, but I want to show you guys my new sled. So let's check it out. Oh, so last year's sled was about half this. This is 40 by 48, and last year's sled was like 20 by 48. And the reason why last year's sled was so small was because I had to get in the car. This year, having the truck, I can have a bigger sled. So, you know, you can go to the Fleet Farm and buy a sled for like $100 that'll fit most of this. But making one is free, and you can do whatever you want with it. When you're done, you can burn the thing and not care. So, I'll show you. First of all, just a piece of, I don't know, half-inch ply. No, probably not even half-inch ply, but probably 3/8 ply. And 3 2x4s, spaced 2 on the ends, 1 in the middle. The front of the 2x4s are cut at a 45-degree angle. All 3 of them. So that makes it nice for when you're going over bumps and stuff. One thing I noticed last year I had it loaded up with all this stuff on half the space, and stuff was falling off. It was a disaster. But I noticed that once you start going, do not stop. You could put some sort of like metal on the bottom to make it slicker, or like some plastics type stuff, but this works fine. Just drilled 2 holes and put this paracord in here because this wouldn't fit through the holes. And then this is easier to hold on to. And even with all this weight, I mean, I don't know how much all this stuff weighs, but she pulls just fine. It's not like hard at all to pull this thing. The hardest part is when you're on the ice and it might be slippery. So, and then you can see the tie downs. You could use like eyelets, like those little screw-in eyelets. All I did was I took my drill and I drilled holes. You can probably see them here. Kind of spaced them out in between, and then I just stick these in there, and it just has to hold enough. Here's my auger. Yeah, waiting for parts, of course, but it just has to work enough to where it'll hold everything. And then last year the rear end of the auger was dragging in the snow, and it kind of like wanted to pull the auger, so I got this flower pot because I don't have a protector on these blades. But I just made this 10-inch tall T, and I took a hole bit. You could cut it out by hand or whatever, and it just sits in there like so. Can't get a very good angle, but you can kind of see it there. And that just keeps it from really moving at all. I just screwed it like 6 times in the back, and you know, if it works once, that's cool, but not a big deal. Like, this thing could fall apart and I don't feel bad. So this is pretty much it. The only thing I'm missing is the Markham fish finder and my rods. And then of course, if Sam was going to come with, we'd have to bring her tackle box and a chair. So you could stack this thing up pretty high too. And if there's 2 of you pulling it, say you and your buddy want to get out fishing, if there's 2 people pulling, it'll be really easy. So remember that. And you don't have to use 2x4s. You could use 2x10s. You could use pretty much anything you have laying around, really. But last year I made a sled and people laughed at me for it, but I got out there and I did more fishing. So I would say don't be afraid to be different, and get out there and do your fishing. Yeah. A lot of the stuff they make, I had to hand carry it once. I had Sam carrying the chairs. I had that on my back and that in my hands. That sucked. So that spurred me to build a sled. But this is really easy. And in fact, if you had like a trailer, you could really just pull this into the trailer, and then you get there, push it out, and get ripping. But yeah, I'll just throw this in the bed of my truck. So, you know, hopefully that'll spur you with some ideas. I don't know, try to get a little creative at least to show you guys what I do. The back brace is just to keep it from maybe sagging under the weight, because it's not very, like I said, it's not very thick plywood. So this type of sled I would say is probably good for like one season, and then you probably make another one next year or whatever. But you can make something like this and pull it behind your four-wheeler or a snowmobile, you know. Any of those, it would work. It would work perfectly fine, you know. Just throw this on the hitch and go slow. Obviously don't go Bajan, but yeah, it's as simple as that, guys. So I'm gonna head inside, but thanks for watching. Talk to you guys later.